I'm Greg Jarrett, and you are in the strategy room as the 2016 presidential race begins to take shape. Prospective Republican hopefuls are revamping their stance on immigration. Possible candidates like Senator Marco Rubio and Scott Walker are walking back their past support to grant legal status to some illegal immigrants. I wonder if that's a mistake. Joining us now to talk about it, political strategist Basil Smikle Jr., Scotty Nell Hughes. Welcome to both of you. Scotty, let me start with you because I'm wondering, let's talk broader picture to begin with. I wonder if walking it back is a mistake. I looked at the latest polling data. Nationwide, 62% of Americans favor a path to citizenship. 51% Republicans favor a path to citizenship. Even in conservative Iowa, among the GOP, it seems like a majority there do favor a path to citizenship. At least one study suggested that. Why walk it back?
Well, first of all, the path to citizenship is not the path that we have right now. Right now, we're walking this very fine, dirty path of getting to it. So I think there's no one that will say that we don't need some form of immigration reform.
Yeah, but Cruz and Walker are walking it back, and everybody but Jeb Bush is too.
Well, but let me say the reason why. There's three very powerful words within the Republican Party or in politics. I am sorry. And we don't hear about it that often from the Republicans. So, you know what? I'm actually happy as long as they put the actions that back up their idea. If they want to walk it back, great, wonderful. Now I want to see them actually pass the legislation and stick to it.
You know, is this a subject that is going to help your party, Democrats, more than Republicans?
If we handle it correctly, yes.
That's a big
if we handle it correctly. But the one word that I have for this strategy is differentiation, because
right.
I think what they're doing is saying that Jeb is to the left, and we need to go much further to the right. I think that's a winning strategy in a primary, but not in a general
Where does
election.
that come from, though? I come back to the polling data, and even Republicans, it would seem, should be siding with Jeb Bush. Guys like Huckabee and, Marco Rubio, Rick Perry are taking a hard line, no path to citizenship.
I just don't, you don't see that. You don't see that amongst, especially the conservative grassroots base that stayed home the last two elections, which is one of the reasons why President Obama was elected and reelected. They didn't come out. One of the number one issues with them, besides the economy, is immigration. And they don't like, and they see Jeb Bush's plan to be almost exactly like the president's plan. And right now, if anybody wanted to sit there, we need to be drawing this hard line, the differentiations. The Republicans will never be able to recruit the Hispanic vote, no matter what they do.
Scott Walker gave a very interesting interview to Fox News, in which he said, you know what, I've changed. I'm completely reversing my position now. Honestly, I think a lot of people thought, wow, that's refreshing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think that I have changed and the I am sorry are synonymous, but I think there's going to be this interesting intersection of immigration and the economy as you raise. Because, Senator Grassley's now pushing back against what they would call the amnesty bonus, which is essentially the earned income tax credit that immigrants employers get. So there's a question now that a lot of Republicans that supported the earned income tax credit are now pulling back as well because of the impact on immigration. And I think when you combine those two, it will have detrimental impacts for, I think, the economy as a whole. And I don't think Republicans will be able in the long run to sort of message their way out of that.
You know, Scotty, when we look at the polling data again on a different subject, is the president's executive action unconstitutional? Is it illegal? A vast majority of Americans say it is. It was wrong. But at the same time, in polling data, they suggest get over it, Republicans.
Well, and that, like I said, once again, it's this point. It's exactly what you just said. It depends on how they handle the situation. You know what we saw last week or the other day with Benjamin Netanyahu being in town, and just a few hours later, Boehner passes the DHS bill that had this executive order, and literally the uproar that you're seeing from the conservative grassroots. There's not a single nice thing that most conservatives have to say, and that's the one thing these Republicans are going to have to realize. You want to go down this path of immigration, that's fine. Are you going to be able to recap, because you are going to lose your entire base, the conservative base. Right. That's the risk that each of these candidates have to weigh right now.
And it's balanced with growing the party. So I do think you can grow the party with immigrant voters.
The ones that are currently here,
correct.
The ones that are legally
correct.
here right now. We can gain those.
Related to the ones that related to those.
Wrap this up. Quick responses from each of you. How big a role will immigration play in 2016? And In modern American political history, every presidential election invariably centers around not ancillary issues like that, but money and jobs.
Mm-hmm. But immigration plays a huge role into it, and I think that's the issue right now. So in the way money and jobs have to deal with, how much are we having to pay for when it comes to Obamacare, the insurance, and the education?
I think you'll see immigration play a huge role up until maybe the summer of next year, and then you'll switch to a lot of domestic policy issues.
And when I say money and jobs, we're talking about taxes, employment, all of the things that are the pocketbook issues of American voters. Basil Smikle Jr., Scotty Nell Hughes, good to see you both.
Yeah.
And for more on the 2016 race, stick with FoxNews.com. I'm Greg Jarrett. Thanks for watching.